YouTube, Facebook, and Tumblr fans? Welcome back to the next episode of Versus. My name is Midnight Strike 3625. Today we're going to be talking console wars, more specifically the PlayStation 3 versus the Xbox 360. So to start off, the Xbox had a little bit of a head start over the PlayStation 3, being released the summer of 2005, while the PlayStation 3 was released the November of the following year in 2006. And both game systems had a few launch titles that pretty much cemented their success early on. To dig a little deeper, it's kind of ironic that the Xbox didn't launch with Halo like they did in the last generation with Combat Evolved, because it is one of their flagship franchises, if not the flagship franchise. And the PlayStation 3's, arguably flagship franchises, Uncharted and God of War, didn't come to these systems until 2007 and 2010 respectively. And Uncharted, of course, was a new thing. It was a new tech demo back in, I believe, 2006 when they were showing it off with PS2 graphics. So they were going to port it over to the PlayStation 3, up the ante a little bit, make it a little bit more shiny, a little bit more realistic feeling, and eventually, ultimately, show it off. Ironically, Assassin's Creed was supposed to be a exclusive to PlayStation 3 as well. That was also released in 2007, but you know what? Microsoft had their way and had it released on Xbox 360 as well. So, now we have it on both platforms. I personally prefer Assassin's Creed on Xbox 360. It's just the controls just feel a little bit right. The controller in my hand just feels a little bit more apt towards that kind of gameplay, towards that kind of control. Because, like I said in all my reviews of Assassin's Creed kind of has that more of a clunky-ish controlling feel to it, which isn't a bad thing. Don't get on my case about that, but it has that sort of, like, heavy feeling, like the weighted feeling to it. But, hey, that's their style. I can dig that. Anyways, getting back to the console wars, in the beginning, like I said, Resistance Fall of Man for PlayStation 3 and Quake 4 for the Xbox 360, both of these titles pretty much cemented their success. So, arguably, I think Resistance was a bit more successful. That's what I hear about more so these days, is, oh my god, Resistance, Fall of Man, you have to play it, Midnight Strike, oh my god, But, anyways, with me, there's few advantages of both systems. Both of them have, their limelight. Both of them have their advantages and disadvantages. So, to get started, the controls. Which one is better? Well, start off with the Xbox 360. Look at that. It is very big, very weighted, very clunky feeling, but it fits perfectly in the hand. It fits comfortably, if not a little bit heavier. It has a little bit more of a weighted feel because of the battery pack here that it has. A lot of these can actually be fitted with AA batteries, which is really good. What I do like about this controller, though, is the joystick placement. It feels very, very natural, as opposed to these joysticks, which are literally straight across from each other. And for me, it's really weird, really awkward to try and play with that when they're straight across from each other like that. The button placement is relatively the same, although the PlayStation 3 has pressure sensitivity, where the Xbox 360 does not. Ironically enough, the Xbox did have pressure sensitivity, but when it ported over to the 360, it did not, rendering most games in the Xbox library unplayable, which is very sad in my opinion, because it had a few really, really awesome titles on the Xbox. But, overall, with the controller functionality and how it interacts with the menu interface, the Xbox 360 definitely has a one-up on this one, because with each controller comes a profile. So each person's profile, each player's profile is synced to a controller, so they can just press the center button and go to their menu pretty much whenever they want. And it's very easy, very fluid, and I really like that about that. And it's very easy going in and out of a multiplayer game or split screen or whatever you're into, because each player is synced to a controller. They can actually use their own initial profile instead of making a bunch of profiles, secondary profiles, on another person's basic account. So on a PlayStation 3, you actually do have to do that. And then each person is not synced to a controller, and it's just really a complicated process. The menu interfaces on the Xbox 360 is a little bit more straight to the point, user-friendly. You get your own avatar, which is pretty cool. You can customize that. but it is lacking certain functionalities that the PS3 is equipped with. So, one, you can't rip things from a flash drive. You can't watch DVDs or anything from a flash drive unless you have an add-on feature or download. And you can't rip music. You have to actually burn it. That's another thing. You can play music during gameplay, which is really cool, but it's really annoying having to get it on there because you have to actually have the CD, the original CD, and the burn features, like these burn CDs, sometimes, they don't rip all the way most of the time. My Master of Puppets burn CD did, but that was before I bought the actual copy. And, some CDs work, some don't. Most likely you're not going to get all the songs off of a burn CD. It's just going to not work. For some reason, I don't even know. And the downside to this is you cannot rip from a flash drive, which is a shame. You can do that on the PlayStation 3, but the downside again to that is you cannot play that during gameplay. So, the music. So, Xbox has that over PlayStation 3, but at the same time, you can't do a lot of things with the menu. Even though the PlayStation 3 menu is a bit more complex, it does have a lot more features to it. So, what are the advantages of paying Xbox versus PlayStation 3? Well, the Xbox gives you internet, gives you Xbox Live, gives you like Facebook and stuff like that along with it, and apps that cost, I believe Netflix costs like $8. I'm not exactly sure on that. But along with that comes this stupid auto-renewal bullshit. I bitched about this in a video, I believe in 2011 on my old account. Haven't added it back because it wasn't really worth it. But when it comes down to it, Xbox basically forced me, without telling me, that it was going to leech off of my account, take $50 per year practically, or per month, whatever it was, and it was taking it out of my account without even notifying me about it. And that was basically when I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm switching to PS3, never paying for anything on Xbox again unless it is a one-time thing. So, that was the gist of my video that I didn't add because I referred to it in my Kicking and Screaming review. And, it doesn't exist, so, or the Xbox video didn't exist, so it didn't really make sense. So, I am telling you guys now, paying for the Xbox, make sure you uncheck auto-renewal. I actually had to call in to tech support in order to get that removed, in order to get my card off, because it was leaching into the negatives. That was back before I had a job. It was horrible. So, yeah, it was really messed up situation. Anyways, that's what it gets you. You get live, you get internet, you get a lot of other functionalities that you wouldn't already otherwise have. But with PS3, you get PlayStation Plus, which is the basic package, and you can become a member for $50 a year. It's pretty straightforward. You already get free internet. You already get free, playing with other people online. So free access to the PlayStation Network. But with this new thing, which is PlayStation Plus, you get free games, discount on free games, free wallpapers, just stuff like that. A bunch of freebies, basically. And if you download a lot of games, hey, this is worth it. If you don't download a lot of games to get your money back, basically, or accumulate what you have already spent, then I don't really suggest using this. Because if you're not going to download this very much, then it's not worth it in itself. But, hey, I found a lot of use for it. So, the games is the next topic that I wanted to talk about. There are more flagship series on the PS3, so PS3 definitely has this one, Uncharted, there's God of War, among other things, Sly Cooper, which just recently came out, and just a lot of other good things. It has Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, which is the definitive version of HD collections, because with the Xbox 360's controller, as I said, lacks pressure sensitivity right here. So, you can't exactly play the original version of Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance on the Xbox, so when they ported it over, they had to alter the controls a bit on the Metal Gear Solid, as it is based around a pressure-sensitive controller. So, I wanted to play the definitive version, the original, as it should have been, and so I got the PlayStation 3 version. I have not played the PlayStation or the Xbox 360 version, so I cannot judge, but as far as games go, I believe PlayStation has this one in the bag. There's just a lot more to it. It has, again, yeah, PlayStation All-Stars, Battle Royale. I wonder what a 360 fighting game would look like. But yeah, now I'm getting off topic. Games I like better on the PlayStation 3. So, basically, I like PlayStation 3 a little bit better. That's my final verdict. I do have both consoles down there somewhere. I'm not going to get up and get them. But, yeah, I have both consoles. Cherish both of them. Love them. And, you know, eventually, ultimately, the PlayStation 3 I like a little bit better. But, you know, my favorite system of all time is my PlayStation 2. I still play it more than both of them combined. So, yeah, that's saying something. If I'm not on PS3, I'm either making a video at work or playing PlayStation 2 or with my girlfriend. So, yeah, I love PlayStation 2. My top favorite system. But PS3 is a close second. I really like it. I really like all the functionality, all the features. I just wish that they would put in more game recording stuff because I'm kind of a noob when it comes to that. So, Xbox 360, probably my sixth favorite-ish, something like that. But I believe they're both good. So, that's just my opinion. And like I said, as always, this versus video is meant to generate a little bit of discussion. So, comment section below is for you guys. Let me know what you think. So, thank you very much for watching. This is Midnight Strike 3625. And again, as always, keep calm and rock on.